Hey guys, I'm in Maryland, so we're gonna go to this one store called Video Games and Stuff, and we're gonna go check it out. So let's start this episode. Hey guys, Linda, and I will have to admit that the first store that I went to is not actually a video game store. Google lied to me. When I first came here, I thought I was gonna see a bunch of video games. And I'm not gonna lie, I did find a little bit of handhelds and a couple themed, Fallout. There's a chess set right there. So it does have video game related stuff. So I would definitely check it out if you're in Maryland. It is a quaint little place that has some D&D and magic stuff. And here's the handhelds. And they do have a bunch of rare ones that I can't find very much. And they have Atari stuff. So they do have Cubert, Tetris, and Joust, and those ones I can never find anywhere that I'm at. For some reason, I don't know why. I can find Frogger for days, but I can't find the other ones. And I'm just going to show you around the store since I am here. I was like, well, let me just show them around, because I do see that it's really, really stocked with a lot of stuff that you can't find anywhere else. And there's Walking Dead. I was surprised that they had actually a card game for Walking Dead. And they have a bunch of figures for a whole selection of games. You name it, they have it. And I was shocked to find they even have like a board game for Sailor Moon. And that's going to be in the end of the episode, which I'll show you a picture of. And so I'm moving around. It is a lot of what you could say, like, really interesting. I can never find anywhere. Like, they have satchels for your dice. They do have Funkos. Pops, those are everywhere. Everybody has Funko Pops. And they have a bunch of other random stuff too that it's like card games and board games that I've never heard of before. And they have some little mini blind boxes, and there's the ones that I've always wanted to get. And there's a couple of those. A lot of people have unboxed those before. They are currently like everywhere. So I was like, I already know what all the figures are, so I wanted a Cubert, so I just went and got it online. But there is a table, so if you want to play any games, you can set it up over there. And here is one of the card games that I'm really interested in. It's called Boss Monster. Boss Monster looks really interesting. There's a couple sets of them. I'm gonna try it later when I have a little more time. And here is Street Fighter, a deck building game that I've never seen before, so I wanted to show you that. And then there is also the Sailor Moon game that I currently have never seen before either until when I saw it then. And that is the one thing that I found interesting about this, that Google sent me here, and they were a good choice to pick. I will say go to them if you ever are in Maryland. Hey everybody, so we're at our second location. It is somewhere in Ellicott City. It's a beautiful town. Look at this, what I see right here. Look at this. It's right in the middle. Like, there's so many old buildings. And we're going to check out this antique shop and see if there's any video games in here. So let's take a look, guys. I'm hoping for the best. Okay, so the second location, the reason why I said I was hoping for the best was I already had been sent to a non-video game store the first time. And I've had this happen a lot with Google and a bunch of other like Waze apps, where somebody will say there's a bunch of video games and either the store has moved or changed or completely not even what it was. So this one, I was like, okay, so they're sending me to an antique store. I'm hoping that it's not just going to be another flop where I go in and am regretting going here. But no, I should change it, not regret, but like I was looking for video games. I'm hunting for video games. And this antique store was a good one. It has a bunch of stuff that I have not seen in forever. My family used to collect a lot of Peanuts collection stuff that was over there. See right here. And they have a lot of Snoopy, and it was so cute to see. I haven't seen that in a while. And so I kept moving, and I was like, oh, I don't see anything. So I was like, let me go ask the guy, because I'm not gonna waste my time. I will say it is a beautiful town, so it was worth the drive. And he was like, just look to your right. And I was like, Ooh. Oh wow. Here we go. I hit the mother load. And I asked the guy, I was like, is this your store? And he goes, no, we rent out to people. So this other guy, Time Warp Media, I don't know the gentleman's name, but he makes repros. He has a bunch of video games at this place. And I was like, wow, these repros look amazing. The carts, the game cases, the labels, they look all top notch. And the colors are unique, and I like the colors. There's Beavis and Butthead. If you look to the left and the right, you're like in shock by how good everything looks. So I don't know if the comic books are included with the store, if they just put that there because he's renting space and they want to utilize all the space. And so I saw that he had a ton of video games. So there's the little shot of what the name of the store is. So when you go in, you're going to be surprised as I was. So here they have all the rare games in the cases. And they did have a couple handhelds. I was very impressed with it. And he did make his own controllers. That was a new one for me. I haven't seen very many people other than Russ Lyman do that. And so I was 2 thumbs up for that one, for the stuff that he has. And like I said, I don't know if the toys are part of his store, but as I went along, there is a whole lot of old retro games. There's a NES section, and I was looking and I didn't see any titles that I wanted. I moved down. There's a Super Nintendo, and again, no, nothing that I wanted. And there's a couple box games, and then there's N64, and as you go along, there is Genesis, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Label's a little messed up, but not too bad. So that's a maybe. And let's see what else. The one of the collab games, Spider-Man and X-Men. And Speedball. That's interesting. I've never seen Speedball before. Does anybody know what Speedball is about? Road Rash. I've played that before. I played that at Emerald Coast Con. And then there's Night Storm and Cutthroat Island. Who remembers Cutthroat Island? Classic. So I kept moving along to the other side, and here's some more figurines and a whole bunch of retro cables were removed, and then there's manuals. I was surprised to see that. And they are in excellent condition. All the manuals are placed nicely, and there is some covers and some carrying cases, and there's some box systems and a whole lot of 1, 2, 3 PS2 rows, and a little bit of sprinkle of Xbox OG and Xbox 360 and PS1. And here's the other replacement memory cards and some more figurines and some original game cases and controllers. And I was shocked at how much supply that they have. And then you go down, and right here there is an N64, a whole bunch of other the Slim, the joystick, and VHS. There's tiny bit of VHS, not very much. And right below it was the strategy guides. I don't know if these are originals or if they're repros of hats for Mario. And right next to it was a glass case that had a bunch of handheld Game Boy games. And so there it is, guys. That is Time Warp Media. So guys, we're at our next location, which is called Canton Games. It says Baltimore's best source for video games. So we'll see if they really are the best source. Okay, so as I was walking around, the door is a little bit hard to open, so don't let that deter you. And you walk in, and automatically the first thing I saw was board games. So this is not only a video game store, but also a board game / D&D / Magic / a whole bunch of random knickknacks. And when you start off right off the bat, I can't even talk. There was a systems, and then you have to walk a little bit to the left, and there is a bunch of video games stacked all over the place. It is hard to go through everything, but You have to take your time. And so I started grabbing random games to see like what was the prices, and there was a random manual just sitting there. I think somebody just took it out of there. And I was like, okay, so let me see if there's anything that I am missing. And there was a collector's edition of San Andreas, but I already have the book. I can't remember which version I have. I don't know if I have the PS2 version. And I was like, nah, I'll just put that back. And so, let's see. I started randomly grabbing. Okay. It's complete. Oh, and sadness again. I always am sad when I see discs that have not been taken care of. And there is Kyle Round 2. That's a game I've never heard of. See, there's so many games for PS2 that it's hard to keep track of how many games there are for PS2. And there is Fatal Frame 3, The Tormented, in decent shape, complete. But when I saw the price, I was like, no thank you. So I will say the store has some games that are a lot of money. So here's another one. It's $70. And I was like, why is it $70? And I was like, oh yeah, it's in good condition, complete, and it's a rare game that I don't really see often. So I was like, okay. And then they have a bunch of OG Xbox games, and I was taking a look, and then I moved down. They have Play NES. They have some Repro / they have some clone consoles also. And it was just so many PlayStation 2 games to go through. It was ridiculous. It was just like random titles everywhere. Nobody was organized or anything like that. So I moved down, and there is Keyforge. Everybody's talking about that. The guy who made Magic is doing that. So I am still up in the air about it. It's a good idea, but I don't know if I want to keep going into other ones. That's another game system, card game. You know, it's like I just keep thinking about it. I'm like, ugh, I don't have the space. So I'm taking a look, and they do have a good selection of NES games. And then they had a bunch of, which I was surprised, Atari games. There's Porky's. I was checking the pins to see if they're good. And then I randomly turn, and I see this. This is playing by itself. I asked the guy, you can play chess with somebody around the world. I am shocked by this. Basically, you download the app, you pick a player, could be from anywhere in the world, and the board moves their piece. So it's crazy what you can do nowadays. I'm shocked by that. And it was freaking out though. So guys, I'm back at the hotel, and it was a mixed day. The first one, Google lied to me and said it was a video game / board game place. So whoever was doing that, that's a lie. So the first one was just video games, taken out and just giving me board games. So that one was a crapshoot. I mean, I did see a couple things that I kind of wanted, but I didn't get anything from that one. So the second one was the antique store, but actually it was not just the antique store. They were letting people rent out the space. So that one was a good one. But I did pick up the hack, Streets of Rage 2 with Jim, Earthward Jim. And I like the cart. The cart looks really good. So I'm going to play that. That one was $30, so that's not a bad deal. And then for Canton Games, I will say it is a great game store. So the hype on the door, it's legit. So I picked up Porky's. That's the first one. And Star Trek. Decent labels, I will say. They're looking good. Little rough around the edges, but not bad. I'll have to just clean them out a little bit. You can tell that they're they've been sitting there for a while, like nobody wanted to buy them. So, but yeah, guys, that is it. Thank you for watching this episode. If you're new, please subscribe. And as always, keep on gaming, everybody. I'll catch you later. Bye.